Is it just like a kid being
Is that a
obnoxious?
kid yelling, or is that like, it sounds like it's either a coyote or a kid? The fuck is that?
I want to go outside.
Yeah, let's go see what this is. We'll be right back. There is someone down the street making just yelling like that over and over again, and I can hear someone else another street down yelling back, doing other noises. So you were saying it's like in Italy when everyone was singing out their window during
except this is Burbank's version of it, I guess.
two dumbasses yelling out their window. So Ryan went and threw a few of his own. Here, I'll roll it back to see if it picked it up outside the window. Here it is. Yeah. Did they respond?
I don't think so. They kept screaming back.
I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
I think someone yelled at them to shut up. Like it was almost as beautiful as what happened in Italy, but I remember people kept like changing those videos and making it look like they were singing other songs, and a lot of people believed it. Anyway, episode 188 of the Super Mega Podcast. Welcome, boys and girls. Hope everyone is doing well in quarantine, or if you're listening to this out of quarantine in the future, hope we didn't die.
Yeah.
So
Doubt it. I don't think so. I think we're good.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
How you been, Ryan? How's your week been? You bored as hell?
I guess. Yeah, I've just been doing the same shit. I've been just kind of can't remember if on the last podcast I said what my sleeping schedule was. I think I did. And it's about the same. Like, I'll stay up because I stay up just for Animal Crossing for that 5 a.m. just so I can
beautiful.
Do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I actually threw up in my mouth, but
I see the tears in your eyes. Yeah, I can see it's kind of watery.
But I've been playing Animal Crossing, been playing Call of Duty, been playing that's essentially it for that. And then been watching movies.
Same.
I don't know, I just wake up and it's just kind of like there's no purpose.
It's gray.
So I just feel like I don't care when I wake up or when I go to bed because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel that.
At least for us.
I've been watching movies, Ryan.
Yeah, here's an update. Matt, after our intervention last episode, he went and he watched his 3-movie marathon, which was How to Save a Life,
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, which is 3.5 hours.
Laquisha.
And Laquisha, yeah.
So can we let's go one by one. Let's talk about, because I have seen all of these movies but one, I would say.
Yeah, so you haven't
but
seen
I don't remember Return of the King. I just remember not liking Lord of the Rings when I was little. So
yeah, so while you were stuck twiddling your thumbs wondering what the hell do I do with my day, I was lucky enough to have my whole day lined up for me. So I woke up.
9-10 hours almost.
I started at around 11 a.m.
Yep.
I went in my living room. And I was actually, here's the thing, was I was looking forward to doing not much that day. I kind of was like, oh, I'm going to try to maybe, do something creative today. I don't know. Just do something fun.
Yeah.
No, I was like, fuck. I told Ryan, I promised I would do it before the next podcast, and it's either I do it on this day or I do it tomorrow. And tomorrow was slowly looking like it was not going to be an option because I was going to be busy. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do it. And it wasn't something I planned. I wasn't like, I'm going to wake up today and do it. It was kind of a spur of the moment. I was like,
you're just like, I'm just going to
I'm just going to do it.
Knock it out of the way.
So I put on To Save a Life, which, as described in a past episode, is a Christian movie. One of those where a kid's friend. So this kid saves another kid when they're young. He pushes him out of the way of a truck, and they're best friends. Then in high school, the kid that got pushed out of the way of the truck becomes a hotshot, and he becomes cool. But the kid that saved his life is not cool anymore. He is not cool. So this one friend just changes and doesn't realize that his old friend, the one that saved his life, is struggling with mental illnesses and depression. So said friend comes to school and shoots himself in the head in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then the guy.
What a scene, though.
I know.
Right?
It was really poorly done.
Riveting.
Too. I know. But then he basically joins church reluctantly, and
how much screen time does our boy Crowder have?
a lot. He's a supporting character.
Some might say he's one of the antagonists of the film.
He is,
if not the antagonist.
You know what? I'm gonna take it upon myself. I'm gonna spoil the movie. You know what? Because I don't
cares?
I don't think it's
Who cares?
the
man?
one guy out there that was gonna watch it tomorrow with his youth group, and he's been excited all week. He's like, oh, god damn it!
Yep. Because the first time I saw it, the only time I've seen it was at a dollar theater with my youth group
In Columbia.
in Columbia.
Was the Nickelodeon.
No, Nickelodeon's not a dollar theater. That's just an independent theater.
It's a nickel theater.
It was the dollar theater. If y'all live like in Irmo, Columbia area, it's the dollar theater off of St. Andrews Road. It's on St. Andrews Road.
Well,
Yeah.
basically, he starts going to church. He meets this youth pastor who's a cool dude, but he's kind of, dude, he was guilting him so bad. He's like, so the main character gets drunk one night at a party, and he has sex with his girlfriend. Intercourse, yep.
Unprotected.
Not outercourse, not any kind of foreplay bullshit. Intercourse.
But they take off shirts and stuff. And I remember watching them like, what's the line when they're offering kids something for them to lust after and for them teaching a lesson about lust?
Well, you see, Ryan, a lesson was taught because, lo and behold, she gets pregnant. But the best part is, she wants to get rid of it.
Good.
And he says, baby, no, this is a decision for both of us. And he got his dream scholarship to his dream college, and so did she. And he convinces her to keep it, and then they give it up for adoption. He still goes off to college, leaving her with the kids. So
Hey, I pumped this thing into you. You're going to have to ride it out, baby.
he convinces her to keep it, and there's so many plots in the movie, dude. There was like 12 different plots going on.
Steven Crowder's whole plot was just, didn't he like kind of get with her?
Yeah. He slept with the main character's girlfriend, and then when he finds out she's pregnant, he goes, "You slut!" Oh,
That's just what a lot of those movies turn out to be. There's a lot of that genre out there, but I'm glad we get to see one made for a youth group.
I know, and completely lost my train of thought.
Ooh,
Did you make a stinky over there?
I did, but it's fine.
Hope that stays over there.
Me too.
I'm praying that's staying over there.
So then was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
There was more I wanted to say though about
how to save a life.
just to save a life.
To save a
How
life.
to Save a Life is
Is
the
the
phrase
song.
song, and which they couldn't use in the movie. They did have a good Switchfoot song though. There's like there's where he becomes like fully Christian.
Do
And it's dare you to move.
do. I'm kidding. I don't know who does
That's
that.
not Switchfoot.
I don't know who that is.
That's Third Eye Blind, bro. Switchfoot has the dare you to move.
Okay.
And he's like getting baptized and shit in the ocean. Great movie though. Highly recommend it.
Do you?
Yeah. I had fun with it. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen. It was bad though. The cinematography
Was it
poor.
better or worse than God's Not Dead 2?
It was more fun. It was more fun than
Was it
God's
more
Not
fun?
Dead. Yeah.
Okay.
I had more fun watching it just because I think this one was more ridiculous than God's Not Dead 2.
Moving on to the next movie,
Lord of the Rings.
Return of the King, the third and final movie.
Turn out the king. I've seen no Lord of the Rings movies. So Ryan was
So
like,
how does the movie begin? What are you put into? What
let me see if I can remember how it.
Because it all just kind of goes together.
There's 3.5 hours of
one
fight
big
scenes.
like
and
gray mishmash of just.
Mr. Frodo. So I have not seen the first two Lord of the Rings. So Ryan picked the last
can imagine how fucking miserable some of watching it.
one. I gotta
must have
say,
been.
it was good. Like if I
Well-made film, yeah.
if I knew what was going on, I could tell I would have loved it. I would have thought it was a great movie. It had a lot of touching parts, a lot of great action, a lot of cool shit. And I remember watching it being like, man, this would be cool if I knew what the fuck was going on.
I remember you told me, it's like, dude, something about the ending. Like, I was getting a little bit emotional, even though I had no idea what was going on.
I got really invested in the ending. Like the last 20 minutes, my eyes were just glued to the screen. And I was just like, whoa. And I was like, oh, damn. So the rest of the movie was kind of just a fog, but then the ending I liked. But
So what did you think of Samwell Tarly and Frodo and the ring and the volcano and all that?
okay, so let me tell you what I think happened.
Okay,
right?
just tell me from what you saw, what's going on.
How did it start? Okay, so it starts with Smeagol and some other dude, and they're on they're
Is it
fishing.
Sam?
Is it Sam? Dude, I don't know.
Sam's the bigger one.
It's the
With
guy that
blonde hair.
no, it's Smeagol and then whoever Smeagol's bro boy toy was.
What? Did he have a boy
I don't know.
toy?
It's just another Smeagol dude.
No, he's looking at his reflection. Smeagol is Gollum, like they're the same person. So he's like when he's talking to that other thing.
No. It's Smeagol before he became like the
corrupted by the ring.
Yeah, it's when he was still a human.
There's two versions. The version that's talking to him, like, come on, get it.
Yeah.
And then there's the.
But this was the starting scene is him with like another dude in a boat.
Okay.
And then the fishing.
I don't remember, dude.
And then the fish pulls him in the water. And
Smeagol gets pulled into the water?
No.
Do you see the fish?
His friend pulls him in.
Oh.
His friend gets pulled. His friend gets pulled in, and at the bottom of the pond, he finds the ring, and he brings it up, and Smeagol sees it, and Smeagol's like, I want that. Like, it's very innocent. Like, they're very innocent.
Yeah.
You could see the ring instantly corrupt Smeagol, and he's like, I want that. And
so is Smeagol not a goblin yet?
He's a human.
He's just a person.
He's a person. And
is he a normal-sized person?
Yeah. It's just Andy Serkis.
Wait, is it Andy? So Andy Serkis is just... I didn't even know Andy Serkis... I know Andy Serkis played Gollum, but I only thought he did the motion capture. I didn't know he also played the character.
No, he plays like himself. Like,
okay.
Because Smeagol, unfortunately, does look like him. And he kills his friend for the ring. And then it goes into a montage of him becoming fully corrupted. And then it's like, Return of the King.
My farts smell like old produce.
Well, I'm glad I'm on this side of the room.
I have to take a poop break. I have to.
Can you wait until I'm done with all these movies?
I can't.
Come on, Ryan.
I can't.
What are the odds you have to wait until I'm done reviewing all the movies?
0.
No, Ryan.
I have to
Ryan,
poop.
you can hold it in. Tighten that sphincter.
Okay, the odds are 3. 3, 2, 1, 2.
All right.
Okay, well, I have to wait.
Hold it in, baby. So basically, what happens? So then, I'm just fucking with you. Basically, then Frodo and them, they're on a mission to throw the ring into a volcano. Also, the day I watched it, Krakatoa erupted.
Ooh.
Or the next day. So,
Okay.
Interesting coincidence. Might have had something to do with me. But they throw it, and there's a lot of fight scenes.
Did you like the fight scene with Legolas and Gimli? And
I don't know who that is. I watched the whole movie. I don't know who that is. Is Legolas Orlando Bloom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Gimli's the dwarf, I think.
Is Gimli the like kind of cross-eyed?
The dwarf. The only like dwarf in the movie.
Is that when he reminds me of Hagrid.
Little Hagrid.
Yeah, Little Hagrid. And
Okay.
they yell for Frodo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Movie's great. It was enjoyable. I did like it, and the ending was great. I'm glad.
Was the evil wizard in this one, or did he die in Two Towers?
He was not in 9/11. Sauron was in it.
Okay.
Like the tower.
No, the tower, but like there's Gandalf, and then there's the other fucking wizard dude that's played by Christopher Lee.
Isn't that who
might have died in the second one.
Isn't Sauron like that wizard?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I didn't learn a lot when I watched it, but okay. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. That was actually the hardest one to get through.
Sauron is explained in the beginning of the first movie.
Okay, yeah. So, Sauron just showed up.
Like the very first scene is
Sauron's a cool
explaining
fucking character.
Yeah, he's a fucking like big ass knight dude.
Like a big eye. That's
yeah.
The eye of Sauron is so sick. I thought that's like one of the coolest villains in a movie.
Like he's looking at you.
And it like shines the light. I was like, that's awesome. Good movie though. It was the hardest to watch for me though, just because
how long it was.
3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. And I remember I felt like I was getting far in the movie and I paused it. I FaceTimed you. I was 40
You were only
minutes
30 minutes in.
30 or 40 minutes in, and the progress bar of the movie compared to how much was left after already like
you said every time you paused it, you just like let out a sigh because you're like,
I stopped looking when I paused. If I had paused it to get up, I just wouldn't look because I'm like, I don't want to know. But it was good. It was good.
Doesn't it feel like the movie's ending like 5 different times?
Yes. And in fact, I made a little video that's going to be on Patreon soon of like my day while I was doing this. And there's actually, I tried to film the ending of every movie. So like the credits rolling. And there's like 12 takes where I'm filming it because I think it's when the credits are going to come. And then I'm like,
it fades out several fucking times.
And then you can hear me just go, there's more? Yeah, I would like to watch all of them now though. And actually, thank you. I would like to thank you for not giving me the fucking director's cut version, which is 4.5 hours.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because I could have.
You could have.
I could have. It would have been well within my right.
And I would have watched it. And I appreciate that you did not because
I thought it was just enough. I'm like, oh, the idea, you get it.
I don't think it's a boring movie, but it was very boring to me because I just couldn't understand what was going on.
See, Jackson and Harrison, you know how they are. When they wanted to give me ideas for movies to give you, but they wanted to be like
What did they tell
they
you?
wanted me to give you like 9-hour movies, like 6-hour movies.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's good, but I don't want to make you. I don't want the whole thing just to be suffering. I want you to have some sort of enjoyment. That's why I put in Laquisha at the very end.
Yes. Which Laquisha for the
Doesn't he sound like Norm Macdonald's like younger brother?
Funny thing is, in the clip where I filmed the beginning of the movie, I literally called him knockoff Norm Macdonald.
Wait, really?
Yeah. He's like
I can't wait to see this video.
He's like
you
dollar
filmed.
store Norm Macdonald. This is like if Norm Macdonald never got famous and was just trying like
Never was on SNL.
no, this is like the dark path. But basically,
Did you look up this guy afterwards?
Oh, I looked him up.
Like,
this
what's
guy,
he about?
He directed, produced, wrote, and starred as Laquisha. What's his name?
So I have a question. The woman on the cover, is she ever in the movie?
Yeah, she's a character.
Okay.
And I'll explain that.
Okay.
Now, I know you haven't seen Laquisha, and I know
I
you want
haven't.
to see it. I know you're dying to see it, and I want to watch it with you. So I don't know if I want to spoil too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep some stuff secret just because
You were sending me some editing mishaps, like them tracking certain things on screen.
the editing is...
atrocious.
If he
Did he edit it too?
I could see him editing it as well. Whoever edited that might...
What's the premise of Laquisha?
Okay. Laquisha is there's a guy and he's a divorced bartender, right? And he wants to make his own radio show because he gives such good advice to the patrons of his bar, but they reject it. They say he's too boring. So just he's watching Maury or something, and
He's loud, like two black women fighting.
arguing, and he starts doing the voice too in his living room, thinking he's funny. He's eating eggs, and then he's like, "Wait a second," and he starts recording
He's
himself
eating
doing it.
eggs?
Well, my favorite thing is
Like scrambled eggs, or he's just eating boiled eggs in a
like
bowl?
no, he has a cauldron of boiled eggs. He's munching upon. No, he's
He has
like,
a crock pot filled with boiled eggs soaking in pickle juice.
no, he's eating like egg for breakfast. My favorite thing is like you don't actually see him take a bite, I don't think, but then the next scene he has a little. You could see a little bit of egg around his mouth, so he really did eat them in real life.
Do you think that was it meant for comedic purposes?
No. It was like he just had some egg on his face. But basically, he makes a new radio show where he's a fictional black woman named Laquisha.
Okay.
Who's very sassy and says it how it is. And he submits it to the radio station.
Doesn't sound too different from his normal voice. He just puts a little of that racist twang on it.
Yes. And then imagine like a 40-year-old comedian that your parents would like trying to do his best impression of a sassy black woman. That was it. And the radio picks him up. And they're like, you know what?
So what's the movie? Is the movie just him giving advice to people as Laquisha?
Yes, but
is there a problem? Is there an antagonist of any kind?
there's plenty, Ryan. So
Okay.
he has to keep it secret, right? The radio station can't know who
It's
he
like
really
Breaking
is.
Bad.
Yeah, it's essentially that.
he has to keep this the radio world a
Ryan.
secret from those he loves.
He falls in love with a black woman.
Nate, is that the woman on the cover?
No, different woman. But
Who's
this
the woman on the cover?
But this woman called Laquisha asking for advice about their relationship. So he answers it as Laquisha, and then they get together. But then he can't control himself, and he finally gets with the girl. But he starts talking like Laquisha when they're getting together,
like during like making love.
Yeah,
He's
like he can't help
that
it.
feels good.
Yeah, and he can't help it. And she's like, "What's gotten into you?" He's like, "There's two people inside of me struggling to get out." And she's like, "Are you gay? Are you transgender?" And he's like, "I don't think so." And then he's like, "I'm sorry, I have to leave." And then he leaves, and we don't hear about this girl for like almost until the end of the movie. They just drop that plot.
Okay.
And then finally, Laquisha becomes a hit. Everyone loves Laquisha, and Oprah offers Laquisha her own show.
Do they get a stand in Oprah? Or
Well, you see, that girl that's on the cover, that's where she comes in. They have to find a fake Laquisha to be the real Laquisha. So he does the radio show, but for public events, he sends out the fake Laquisha.
okay, and fake Laquisha's cool with it.
Yeah, but he turns down the Oprah show without telling fake Laquisha. Fake Laquisha doesn't like that. Next thing you know, fake Laquisha, you know, she wants everything. You know, she's calling for blood.
Is she the antagonist of the film?
The real black woman is the antagonist. And then,
is she really?
yeah, pretty much.
No way.
So he gives up and gives her the show, and then she does one episode, and everyone hates it.
Why have black women when white men can be better black women?
Exactly. And then finally, he comes clean about who he is and starts his own show. Starts the Joe Show, where he's not Laquisha anymore. He gives the same advice, but he's not Laquisha. He can be himself. And he gets with the girl, and the movie he's really...
What's the theme?
You could tell he's definitely trying to do some big, like... He's trying to say something with this movie about, like, race and stuff.
It sounds like he just...
misses the mark.
It sounds like he thought of, like... it's hard to be a white guy in comedy nowadays, and then that's it. And then he made the movie from that.
Essentially, because when he's watching the show,
when most popular, like the most popular comedians are like white men.
I know, but my favorite
day.
When he's watching the Maury show, he's like, see, they're like, radio station doesn't want a straight white guy. Now, if I was a black woman. Wait a second. That's essentially how
liberals.
That's how he does it. But he tries to make like this big thing about race and stuff, and it really misses the mark. But it was an entertaining movie. The editing, there's a lot about that movie that we'll have to do a commentary track on.
He punches down a lot. I'm assuming in this movie, like how Adam Sandler punches down a lot in his movies. Like if there's a fat person, he makes them fart and fall over.
No, there's actually surprisingly not. From what I remember, this is the end of my like 11-hour marathon, so I am exhausted.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much punching down. It was just like you could tell that the guy that wrote it thinks he's a comedic genius because he made himself like every line had to be like him talking to someone that's like not as smart, and he's pulling zingers on him.
It's like whenever Ricky Gervais writes himself in something.
Exactly.
He's always like the one that knows everything, and he always retorts with the best kind of... It's the type of writing you get where you have an interaction in real life, and you're like, fuck, I wish I came up with this. I should have said this.
Yeah.
And then they write that into something. Yep. Yeah.
So it was definitely an interesting movie that got panned by critics, of course. And that's Laquisha. So thank you for choosing 3 movies.
You're welcome.
We might have to do this What Are the Odds again in the future.
Might have to.
Who knows? Who knows? That video, if not already on Patreon, will be on Patreon soon. There are still more What Are the Odds, Ryan, that I have to complete. There's 2 now I haven't done.
Yeah, the bong rip and the masturbation to
Big Mama's house.
Big Mama's house.
You know what? Last week was the time I should have done it.
Yeah.
I had skipped my my medicine for about 4 days by accident.
Were you able to pump one out regularly?
It would have been easier for me because the medicine would have worn off a bit. So it would have been easier for me to...
Now you're back on it.
Yeah, I'm back on it regularly. So now it's going to be even harder. So it's either completion or 30 minutes of solid masturbation to Big Mama's house 2. That one scene. I actually forgot which scene. Is it the massage scene? Or spa scene? What is it?
Spa scene.
Spa scene?
Yeah. Because there's some shoulders in there you could get a little ornery with.
My fucking Ted Cruz. I'm like, oh, shoulders.
Knees and toes.
I can't wait, dude. Well, that's probably... I'm going to have to focus on the shoulder. What if it like unlocks I have a shoulder fetish? You can go shit now, by the way, if you need to.
What? No, I think my asshole forgot about it.
It went away?
Yeah.
I knew that would happen, man. I knew it would happen. That's
if
what
it comes
happens.
back, I'll just get up in the middle without telling you that I'm about to go take a shit, and I'll just go take that shit.
Isn't that crazy how you'll have to shit so bad, and then you stop thinking about it, and then...
Your brain's like, we got some more. Let's get some more shit built up in the tank.
It's like, why not? Why not collect a little more before we expunge this? But, yeah, I got to get you with some, what are the odds? My favorite one, which we did recently, and you fortunately did not lose, was I asked, what are the odds you sleep with your shoes on tonight? Which that's just, the best what are the odds are ones that are just inconvenient.
You have to wash my sheets and everything.
Well, you could sleep with your feet hanging off the bed.
Yeah, but it's still my shoes. They've been outside, and I like to shower before getting in my bed.
Why not?
I like my bed being clean.
Why not just wash
Buy
your
a
shoes?
new pair of shoes and then sleep with those in the bed.
Sure.
Perfect.
Or just scrub your shoes down before you get in. So you get in bed with soaking wet shoes, but they're clean.
True. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I got a good one of the odds.
What?
What are the odds tonight when you take a shower, you have to shower with your shoes on?
I'll do fuck. Let's do 5.
5?
Yeah.
And you got to send proof.
Not these shoes, just a pair of shoes that I have.
A pair of shoes, yeah. Whole time you're in there. You can't like take them off and then finish your shower. You got
No.
start to finish.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1, 2.
1.
I was going to say 1, damn it.
You already said 2. Why would I go to 2 again?
I thought that you're up, and there goes Ryan. He's going to go take a shit with no warning, said nothing, and he's left the room. All right.
How about the rip one? Did you bring the toilet paper in there?
Yeah, the toilet paper's in that bathroom. We're down to 1 roll of toilet paper, the SuperMegaPlex, because everyone's hoarding toilet paper. So Ryan, use as little as you can. We're trying to be very careful with how much toilet paper we're using at the Plex, because It is down to down to the wire. And we actually thought we ran out. And then in the recording room, for some reason, Ryan discovered there was just a fresh roll of toilet paper in the recording room. So that is our last roll here at the office. So be careful, guys, with your toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? Don't go and be frivolous with it. You know, you gotta be safe. You gotta be careful. Only use a little bit. Don't go be using a shit ton. You don't need to grab a whole bunch and wad it up. Take a small bit, fold it up, wipe, fold it again, wipe again. There you go. You're doubling your use with half the toilet paper. You're welcome. Now I'm gonna wait until Ryan comes back. And you guys are gonna be in for one hell of a podcast. Hey,
what's up?
Ryan's back.
Yeah.
I believe there might have been a little commercial break there.
Okay, that's good.
While you were taking a doo-doo.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Also, thank you for everyone tolerating the change up with the commercial breaks. I know it might not be everybody's favorite thing, but it helps us stay afloat with the podcast, and we appreciate it. And it's something that our podcast advertising studio has brought on board, and we don't mind it, and we hope you guys don't mind it either. But anyway, Ryan, tell it, how was it, man?
It's one of those where you can like feel it afterwards. You can feel like, I'm guessing the closest thing would be to like after if you're a woman,
nice,
after getting fucked in your vagina, and being spread open, because having your vagina like spread because of the penis. My asshole spread because of the poop. And I'm guessing the feeling a woman gets after being like fucked. It's around the same, because now my butthole's having to constrict back to its regular size, much like a vagina would after sex.
Noble. That's very noble of you. I think it's the thing, Ryan. What we completely overlook is like the number of people that we know and respect that listen to our podcast without us realizing it.
Like who?
Like a lot of people. I'm always super shocked when I find out from someone like, oh yeah, like someone I know, like, yeah, I listen to the podcast a lot. And I'm like, well, oh shit, because I always think I'm just speaking to this giant like
collective.
Like it's like I'm on stage and I can't really see the audience. I just know there's an audience there when I'm speaking, because like the lights are in my eyes because I'm so famous. But I forget that, you know, people we know, some famous people, they all listen. And then when I'm sitting here listening to you talk about your asshole expanding,
you asked, and so I answered.
No, and I appreciate that fully. I just remembered, I'm like, for instance, the girl who kind of helps manage the ads on our podcast.
Yes, the little girl.
Yeah, the 6-year-old. She sometimes listens, and she's been listening more lately. And I'm like,
has she been listening more?
She has, and I'm like, oh no, because she's gonna sit there in her office and just listen to this conversation. Well, guess what?
Is she getting a crush?
She might be getting a crush on both of us, dude. We're gonna have to fire her if that's the case.
Yeah, we can't have that. That's like what do they call it?
Workplace inner. I know what you're conflict of interest.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest.
Unless it's a dude, we like kissing the dudes. We like kissing the guys that help out with the podcast. But yeah, man, I saw a video of it was a security camera, like a Ring video of a dude who forgot he ordered Papa John's and comes out and shoots his gun at the driver.
What?
And I just thought of you for some. I was imagining like you ordering Papa John's.
He shoots his gun at the driver?
He walks out with his handgun and he's like, he hears the guy yelling at him like, hey, and he just, pow. And he's like, what was that? Pow. Like he shoots to try to scare him off.
Hopefully that guy was arrested.
I think he's actually a big music producer who's in cahoots with a lot of people, so he's expecting someone to come at him. So he's like, but he shot at the Papa John's guy.
Can't do that.
I know.
You can't just have a gun to assert your dominance like some sort of alpha male. Like, you got to at least know how to use it. This guy just goes out there, shoots at a Papa John's driver.
It was dark. Like, I don't even think he could see where he was.
I'm not going to defend the guy just pointing his gun at a stranger.
No, I'm not defending this guy at all. That guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just made me think of you.
I don't own a gun.
As far as I know.
As far as you know.
I was joking once. I was talking to like Jackson, how we're like, like to prank Ryan, like let's hire a team of like fake burglars to break into his house, and we're like watching from afar, binoculars, like this would be so good. And you come out with a gun and just lay all of like perfect
Like
headshots.
John Wick.
And there's like one guy, and Jackson and I are just like
One
looking
guy's
over
like
the
starting to like crawl away, but I go over like break his legs.
Yeah, you break his legs, he's screaming, you stomp on his skull, and it like explodes. And Jackson and I can't tell anyone because we're like, oh God. So we go home and we're like, we can never bring it up. And it just weighs on us forever.
I come on the podcast like, yeah, someone tried to rob me, but luckily, you know, I own a firearm, so I was safe.
Better you just don't ever bring it up.
Yeah. Like,
How was your weekend, dude?
how
Pretty
scared
good.
would you be if you witnessed me like go to town on people like that?
I'd be terrible. Well,
Would you be scared of me?
Yeah,
Why?
because it would be seeing my friend who I've always seen as a soft teddy bear
Oh wow.
going really wreak some havoc upon a couple poor souls.
Those souls might have deserved it if they're coming to
That's true. They're burglarizing Mr. McGee.
Dude, if anyone does that, I'll break open a can of whoop ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just ordered a few cans off of Amazon, so they'll be coming in soon.
What if someone steals them off your porch?
That looks like
Damn it, my whoop ass! Oh fuck! Let me take a sip of my beverage. Where is it? There it is.
What's Whoopi Goldberg up to these days?
Whooping ass, selling gold. I saw Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know, dude. She's still on The View, right?
Whoopi Goldstein.
It's just an old white Jewish mother, but like with the same hair and like the same glasses and everything. Whoopi Goldberg. That's good. That's good. Hey, that's good. We gotta do that stand-up special where we just come out and like we don't even tell jokes. Just like, what about Whoopi Goldstein? And everyone erupts with laughter. Speaking of which, I found a video I'd never seen before, which fucking killed me. It's called it's like a Kevin Hart stand-up special. And he's telling jokes, and someone like masterfully edited your laugh into the audience, like not like a bunch of you, but just one. But it's like very well, like good job, like edited in. But it's always like a little late, so it stands out. So Kevin Hart will say something that's not that funny, and you'll just be like, and it's so fucking good. I watched it last night, and I was drunk, and I was like,
You sent it to me.
Jackson and I were like, we were both crying. We're like, this is fucking good. This is fucking awesome. So whoever made that, props to you. Very funny video. Got me laughing like a little freak.
I got a question. I'm quarantined by my lonesome with Lego, and you are with two other people. What's it like being quarantined with two other people? Seems like there's a lot more like you can keep each other a little more sane.
Yeah.
Or does it have the opposite effect?
No. I think it's
It's a benefit
I think that
because you look at someone, you're like, you're going through the exact same thing I am. We're
Yes.
in this together.
Here's the thing. I think that being stuck with someone, you would get cabin fever and start to get really annoyed, but that's not happening for us because I think we understand that like, oh, well, this situation sucks for everyone.
Yeah.
So we haven't, or at least yet. I'm saying, yeah, they just extended the stay-at-home order until the May 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still over a month from now. We're still going to be in this thing.
I still got my little homemade masks.
Yeah. What'd you
Well,
make them out of?
The one you just make them out of cloth. What do you mean?
I just like, what did you make them out of?
Oh, I don't like make a for the straps to go on my ears or anything.
Okay.
I just kind of like get cloth and shit and cut it, and then I use it and just
Cloth
wrap it
and
around
shit?
my face. Yeah, I pack some shit into a toilet and dampen the cloth on it so it sticks to my face better.
By the way, guys, last podcast or podcast before last, we or no, that wasn't the podcast. I think it was a Grand Theft Auto episode. We talked about shit fetishes. That was a bit of a mistake.
People commented.
See, because we were
One
genuinely
comment was
wondering.
like, I think it's just because it shows that women are just like everybody else, and it
No shit, dude.
and it humanizes them. No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. We asked people. We were like, why are people like turned on by shit? Why do people have like shit fetishes?
Because it humanizes women.
We got some answers. There were some I read that I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Why?
Yeah,
are you
so I
commenting
can't.
that?
I guess I can't judge. You know.
Yeah, but even when asking that, there's still some people that just shouldn't have said anything. there's one guy. I don't want to.
No, we asked, and so we got the truth.
We got the truth. So
hey,
I guess I
don't
can't be
ever feel bad
that.
about answering what we ask, because I want to know. I want to get into the nitty gritty.
But looking back, I wish I didn't know. There was one specific comment I read that I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like there was like some I want to say there's some incest, some pedophilia, and I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have asked.
About the sitting on the lap.
Yes, that one. I was like, oh Jesus Christ. It was some guy talking about. He's like, well, I believe mine started when I was young. My sister would sit on my lap and I'd tickle her until she had an accident. I was like, all right, buddy, that's some things are better left unsaid, you know.
But now we know.
But
obviously he's not embarrassed by it because it's a public forum where he put.
Exactly, that's true.
So like we're not calling anybody.
But also at the same time, I guarantee he didn't expect us to bring it up on the podcast. He's gonna be like, oh shit.
Him and his sister like watch it together,
and he's just like, "Oh." She's like, "What? Hey, was that you?" No. Yeah. No. Sometimes I read comments and I am taken aback to the umph degree.
Every time I read the comments, it's just a stark reminder of why I don't and shouldn't read the comments. Just shit where it's just like. You and I will say something, and they'll be like, unless you're wanting to get into the specifics of something, don't mention. It's like, calm the fuck down and relax, okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Like, people get upset when we tiptoe around subject. For example, it's like, I like trees. No, there are a lot of good trees, and I like all trees that exist. It's just that this one I like more than the other one. I'm not saying one tree is better than the other tree. You know, it's. We're not talking about trees in any given circumstance. It's just the type of...
Talking about homosexuals.
I'm talking about the speech in which apparently we have to go by whenever we talk about something, when it's like, yeah, I like drinking water. Unless you put poison in the water, then you shouldn't drink the water. Then don't drink the water that has poison in it. It's like, no, it's like... We have to at least be able to speak a little freely. We have to assume that our audience has the slightest modicum of intelligence to understand like certain subjects, given that we don't understand a lot as well.
I think they do. I think there's always, of course, that's. I think it's just a small vocal handful of people that jump in the comments and
just shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Dude, what did I do? What the fuck, man?
I'm just trying to help people, bro.
Dude, I was backing you up, man. I got an Oculus Quest.
Have you tried it out yet?
I did. Well,
how does it work without plugging it into a computer?
It's cool as fuck.
Does it track your motion very well?
Perfectly, and you don't put up sensors or anything either.
Okay, because
there's no sensors you have to put on the ceiling.
How do you download stuff into the headset? Do you have to plug it into? Is there an app you have to plug it into your computer, then download the shit?
It comes it has kind of like a desktop on it. You can access the Oculus Store straight from it and install games.
Okay.
You can also hook it up to your computer with like virtual desktop and stuff.
Now, can you do what I would do?
Yes.
Okay. Have you tried it out?
Oh yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
Oh, it's pretty crazy.
VR porn is fucking. Every time I talk about it, I have to make sure if I do it again, it's only once, because it's one of those things where you're just it's a new experience.
I remember when
it's crazy.
You got your VR set. What VR set do you have?
I think I had.
Do you have a Vive?
I can't remember which one I had. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't use it.
That was a long time ago. And I remember you went home and and the next day you just came in and you were like, dude, that's dangerous, man. I had to put my VR in the closet.
Isn't it though? I'm sorry.
Well, but I didn't watch it by myself. There were always friends around. So like Harrison or my friend Annabelle, we don't watch it together.
I legitimately watched porn and masturbated with the mask on, with the Vive mask on. Or Oculus Rift.
Mask on, baby. You were telling me you were scared about burglars coming in, like robbing your house.
No, I thought it would be
sitting there.
I thought it would be funny, like me just like in this romantic kind of like mood. I'm like, oh wow, I'm talking to the bitch,
speaking back to the virtual woman.
Like, wow, baby, you're so cute. Hey, is that candle lit all right? Oh, you're sitting on my face. Okay.
Meanwhile, like there's a dude taking your TV out of the room.
I don't actually talk to porn. Do people talk to porn?
They're definitely.
Like, yeah,
definitely.
Baby, fucking take
I'm sure people talk to our videos. I'm sure that, like, I guarantee all the time people watch our videos and talk to them. Have you ever talked to videos?
Only in the sense of that, like, I'll repeat what made me laugh just because, it's kind of like if someone said, doo-doo, be funny, and then I go, doo-doo, be funny. That type of shit.
I remember when I was a kid, I was in my living room and I was watching Sesame Street, and Elmo asked a question and I answered it.
He went, "Sup, bitches?
Sup, bitches?" And I answered the question and he said, "Very good," and then repeated what I had said because it was the correct answer. And I remember it blew my
you were
fucking
like, how does
mind.
he know?
And I told my dad, I was like, "Dad, like the TV's talking to me."
I remember when I was younger and shit like Dora, Blue's Clues, I'd be like, are we actually interacting? Like, I could never figure out when I was younger if it was like pre-recorded or if we were in some way interacting with the show. But that's what the show is built to do for kids.
It's magical. I remember I wanted a bow and arrow set so I could shoot my TV and go inside. 'Cause I thought that if I like shot a bow and arrow, like if I shot an arrow through my TV screen, I could like go inside because I'd like break it open.
I remember after Chalk Zone released, I remember like whenever I would use chalk, I'm like, maybe it's a 1 out of a million chance, but will this take me to Chalk Zone?
Is it gonna happen this time?
Never happened.
Well,
Never got to go to Chalk Zone.
it just didn't happen because the chances were just too low.
Yeah.
Too high.
It's one out of a million.
1 out of a million, man. I forgot what I was saying. VR.
Yes, we were talking about porn.
The Oculus.
I think you should, if you ever get your libido back, you should slap that sucker on.
I'm gonna slap it on and slap it off. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah. No,
VR porn's wonderful.
I watched one that was it was called Jizmanji, and it was a parody of Jumanji. And
It's a VR porn called Jizmanji.
I just looked up VR porn, went to the first website, and on the front page they had a promo for Jizmanji, which was like,
Do you have to download them, or do you have to?
no,
Can you just watch
I
them right
pressed
there?
play.
Oh, really?
And there was a
But is it set up to like where you put it on and it's a POV, or is it okay?
POV, and I'm laying on the jungle floor, and then
Where are you laying on the jungle floor?
and in the distance and on the cover there's like a big rock formation that looks like a penis. Anyway, then I got blown. Right?
Did you?
Pretty sweet, yeah.
While your friends are watching you with the helmet on and this woman's blowing you, they can also see on a screen.
No,
what's
they
going
couldn't see on the screen.
Oh, really?
I didn't have it hooked up to the TV. They could
Okay.
hear it though because the Oculus Quest doesn't have like headphones. It just plays the audio out loud near your ears. You could plug in headphones, but it was just doing it near my ears, so you could just hear just like that.
The thing that you just don't realize is like the proportions of things.
You feel like you're 10 inches tall. And the woman's a fucking giant. I don't like most VR. Most VR makes, I don't know what it is, but
Honey, I Shrunk the Pervert.
it makes you feel like you're really small, and then the person you're watching the pornography of is huge. Ross, I was watching VR porn at Ross's house once, and Ross showed me how to fix that, and I don't know, I'm gonna have to hit Ross up for that. Dude, Ross, I remember
Maybe
Ross,
I need to get me one of these new ones since I don't have to plug it into my TV.
it's great. It's great. I played
How much room do I need to stand around in? Does it tell me when I'm going out of the play area?
You set it yourself. You draw it. You draw the space you're playing in, or you can just sit down and do stationary.
Or missionary.
Hey! Fucking slap that fist, man. Nice. Yeah. All right, there's Jesus Christ.
Look how big it's getting. The bush.
Yeah, I can see. Ryan has his cock and balls out right now for all to see.
Haven't shaved since quarantine.
I could tell. A lot of hair there.
Do you shave still? There ain't no reason to shave. Everyone can just grow their hair out.
I trim with an electric razor. I don't like shave, but I'll like, you know.
I just don't
Before
have
getting
any.
in the shower, I was like, all right, why not?
I just don't have to keep up appearances.
I also don't really grow that much pubic hair.
Really?
I do, but it's not
Right.
It's not as much as like a lot of other people.
Right now, my penis looks like a jungle cat looking through the bushes.
Oh, you ready to pounce? There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Dude. Everyone's talking about this Tiger King shit. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's good.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Yeah,
I have not seen it.
you should.
Should I watch it? Would I like it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they're like, "Wow, that was crazy, huh? He's so fucking badass, or he's so weird." But like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just like,
Bad, right?
I'm depressed. Yeah, you're just watching a lot of people with mental illnesses being taken advantage of.
Isn't he kind of like a cult leader a little bit?
Doc Antle is more of a cultish
Or
type
there's
leader.
someone that like has like gets girls to have sex with him or
That's
something.
Doc Antle.
Like his penis is the holy thing or something.
I don't know what that. I don't know.
Isn't there something where like the only way to like do something is by having sex with him?
No, I mean that's given in any certain. It wasn't with the Tiger King. That was Doc Antle, who runs the place in Myrtle Beach, where he'll have women come in at the age of 17 or 18. They'll live with him for like 20 years, and he'll change their name to sound more exotic, and he'll just I don't know. It's he has a lot of defenses for it, but so does everyone kind of like that. I think most people in the documentary, unless there's one guy who he has his teeth fixed now, but he has fucked up teeth. There's one person, he has his arm bitten off, hand or arm bitten off by the tiger.
I saw a clip of that.
And then there was another guy who has his nothing to do with tigers, but his legs are amputated, and those are like the only 3 decent people, maybe as well as the TV producer that lost all of his footage, whatever. But
well, I've been needing something to watch. After watching
I think you should watch it. It's
Laquisha, I've just been really dying for some other content to watch.
It's one of those things where, you know how certain documentaries, how like an episode will happen, you're like, oh, they're just kind of lengthening it out, they're stretching it out. And this one, it's like how they just packed as much as they could into it, where it's like, oh, this could have been several more episodes.
So what's like the premise? It's just like these guys that have like a tiger.
It's just about people who own kind of big cat sanctuary zoo / rescues, however they want to deem what it is.
I don't know how the fuck you would ever feel comfortable owning a big cat like that. Their nature is to fucking kill.
They go into it. It's a big kind of at least with these people, there is an ego thing about it, of feeling strong. You feel like you're at the top of the world. All these people come and watch you like with these animals and
beasts.
Yeah, and it gives you the kind of this primal, just I'm an alpha vibe, I feel.
See, that's going to be us at the SuperMegaPlex when we get our monkey.
Yes.
People are going to come from all far and wide to come see it. Speaking of which, we got to have a movie night next week. You got to come over and we're going to watch that French movie.
Yes.
About the monkey love.
We will.
I'm very excited for that one. That might have to be a commentary track one too. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows? I'm very excited for that. Speaking of foreign films, the director of Hausu died yesterday.
I know. I'm so glad I got to see it before his passing. I know it doesn't really affect my viewing of it at all, but I'm glad I got to appreciate it while he was. I don't know. In reality, there is no effect to me having watched it and then him dying in terms of my appreciation for it, but there's some kind of like unsaid rhythm or vibe of like being able to appreciate something while the artist is still living.
True. Like there's a lot of artists that I didn't get into until after they died, and it just kind of almost feels weird.
Yeah.
Like
it feels like you're now that you're watching it's like oh because he died, now you're watching it.
Because I never listened to Mac Miller until after he died. Mm-hmm. I found Lil Peep after he died.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, or like right around when he died. So I felt like a fake fan if I listened to Lil Peep. So I'm like, oh, he just died.
Yeah.
It's like I look fake for listening.
I wasn't a fan of like Nicole Brown Simpson until after I found out she passed.
Yeah, it's the animation she did. Talented.
Oh, speaking of OJ, I've watched Naked Gun and Naked Gun 2.5. And I love the humor in those movies, and OJ is a character in both movies. OJ Simpson. He's in the credits.
Does he play himself?
No, he plays.
I haven't seen those movies. Last time I saw those movies was when I was on a road trip from Charleston, South Carolina up to Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and I watched it in the car with my friend on a mini DVD player.
They're some of the only comedy movies that will get me to like laugh because of just the style of humor. Very dad humory.
It's classic shit, man. That's like classic comedy right there. That's the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of watching documentaries and shit, I caught fully up on the Chris Chan documentary, all 34 parts.
Really, I only got through episode 1. I'm gonna, because I have nothing better to do. I'm like, why not binge it?
It is a great series to watch on quarantine because each one's about 40 minutes. 34 parts so far. Mr. McConn's just told me he just finished it too.
Okay. Yeah, we were playing me and Mr. McConn's were playing Fortnite recently.
For those who don't know, Mr. McConn's is a grown man we've recently befriended.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a 60-year-old dude. But yeah, basically, I'm just kidding. He does the special effects in some of our videos. But it's fucking great. It's by Geno Samuel, and I would suggest everyone go watch that if you're interested in Chris Chan, because I know there's a lot of jokes about Chris Chan.
No, the guy is very respectful throughout the whole thing.
He's fully unbiased. Like he doesn't poke fun. He just basically takes the events and then narrates them and states them as they happen.
He as a person may have his own biases, but they're not presented that way in the documentary. It's very straightforward. This is the information. This is what happened.
Mm-hmm. And he's super respectful to everyone. Like there's certain people in the documentary that happened during the Chris Chan saga here or there that clearly didn't want to be related, so he'll like beep their names out and stuff, even though you can still find it online. And just the fucking, I gotta say, that dude the amount of time and work it takes to
How
go
do you
in.
find like Chris Chan's like schoolwork?
How did he
and
find
shit?
it? Because Chris Chan is the most documented person.
Yeah, but
in
like,
human history.
did Chris Chan upload all of that shit?
Yeah,
Like
Chris
to like his
Chan-
own website or
Chris
something?
Chan used to just upload all of this shit like on their own, and they put the problem is they shared too much of their own life with the internet, and now it's just people. They're called Christorians. Started really making it a hobby, and if you go on the Chris Chan wiki, it's like today in Christory, and you could see things that happen.
He really is the sad real life version of the Truman Show.
The Truman Show, yeah. And the reason I like the documentary so much is because it gets deep. Because, like, sure, there's a lot to joke about with Chris Chan, obviously. But at the end, like, it really dives into, like, the seriousness of their condition and, like...
What's that one fucker? He's, like, the most infamous... He did the Julie stuff. He's the most infamous troll.
Blue Spike.
Yeah. He's the one where, like, I remember watching a clip where, like, the other trolls were like, hey, this isn't cool.
Yeah, they were telling him, they were like, hey, come on, man. Like, they're breaking character to tell him to stop. And he was clearly like a 13-year-old boy.
But he wouldn't stop. And he
made Chris break his Sonichu medallion and shove it up his ass on camera.
Yeah.
Luckily, that footage is not, I don't think it's available. But Chris Chan is really just a sad story because it's just someone who has such bad mental illnesses, who grew up in a household with not decent parents and never got the help they needed. And then this is right around the time when internet trolling began and just saw the worst of it, and it just ruined them.
I think McConn's mentioned it, but it's said in the documentary where like Chris Chan's life was written and directed by the trolls, essentially.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
100%.
It's
Because
super sad.
everything
because his reality
is what they're creating.
But there's so many things that he still thinks are a part of his reality that were just trolls and jokes and
the sad thing now is the documentary is only just at 2011. It just got to the part where
I'm going to catch up and I'm going to give you updates on how I'm enjoying it.
It just at part 34 got to the part where Chris begins
transitioning.
The whole Tom, not transitioning yet, but it's like the Tom girl phase of his. So basically, we're not at the trans period just yet, but it's beginning, and it's only the beginning of 2011.
It's only just begun,
and it's fucking crazy. There's a lot of sad shit. There's a lot of funny stuff that I get a good laugh at, and it's just interesting watching something like that, and it really makes me hate like people are. It opens your eyes to how mean people can be because they literally created his whole life for him. Like, they will introduce new characters and keep it up for months that he gets romantically attached to just to kill them.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, it's the power of I always mispronounce it. Anonymity?
That's a hard... Anonymity. Anonymity, I think.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the problem
Anonymousness.
And, that should exist. There should be that for the internet. That's just kind of like the part of the freedom of the internet.
I should be able to comment on some porn videos and say some nasty stuff without people knowing it's me.
You should. Like 100%. That's your right. You shouldn't have to have your name attached to it.
Yeah.
But with that comes people who abuse it to be the most vicious, unforgiving pieces of shit. And for them, like, they'll listen to what I just said and they'll be like... Like, they'll laugh and get a rise out of it because they know I'm talking about them. It's those types of people.
Yeah.
Who just don't let up, who troll, who just try to make someone else's life miserable because then it makes their life better through the enjoyment they get out of your life being miserable.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I think that there's like a degree of... I think there's like kind of like... There is some trolling in the Chris Chan documentary where it's not... hurtful. It's kind of like, even from an outside perspective, it's like, it's kind of funny.
Well, sometimes he does stuff and some of the trolling he deserves it.
Yeah, and like there's definitely...
that sounds mean, but no. You know how Chris is.
There's definitely trolling
or
that...
Christine.
There's definitely trolling that can be funny in certain cases. Like, I've done my fair share of trolling in the days, but I haven't ever done anything like vicious, Like trolling can be fun when you're like 20 and you're fucking with people on the internet, but like when you're actually fucking with someone in real life and it's affecting their mental state and it's affecting like their reality, I guess that's fucked up.
The only like trolling I guess this would be like the birth of it, kind of, in terms of in the technological era, would be prank calls, right? That's kind of like one of the first forms of trolling, I guess.
And before that,
with technology.
That's like the most primitive form of
trolling. It went from
trolling.
ding dong ditching to
prank calls,
and now to ruining some mentally ill person's life. So how things expand, it's crazy.
It's unreal. But I recommend everyone go watch that. Start on part 1. It's full of shit. It's wild.
There's poo poo in it.
There is some poo poo in it. There's a little bit of everything in it. But I do respect the man that makes that, because he has to put so much time and effort into making that shit. Like, to gather this information, to narrate it, to edit it, and he subtitles everything. He'll subtitle a 30-minute long phone call. It's like insane. But yeah, check it out. I also suggest a channel called Down the Rabbit Hole. Or it's not, the channel's called Frederick Knudsen, I think. But he makes a series called Down the Rabbit Hole, where he just kind of like looks at different people and different things from around the internet and kind of dives down these rabbit holes. He has one on Chris Chan. He has one on Wings of Redemption I watched, which is like 2 hours, but it's really good documentary. He's from South Carolina, from Myrtle Beach.
Ooh.
And then a lot of interesting stuff there. Like, my favorite one was one called Temple OS, which is about this like 40-year-old guy with schizophrenia that lived with his parents, and the state deemed him like unfit for work. And he was really smart, though, and he built his own operating system completely from scratch, thinking that like God had commanded him to do it, and he was making like a temple for God to like speak to God, and he thought he was God's chosen programmer. And it's crazy. Like, the story just gets unreal. And
people are interesting.
It's really sad. Schizophrenia, I find, is always like the most fascinating. It makes very fascinating stories when it's added into these mixes, because it's just kind of where people completely detach from reality if like untreated.
Like, imagine if you had it. Like,
yeah.
There's only so much like even a sane person could handle.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it's one of those things where you hear people who, in cases of it, talk about it after the fact, after something has happened, and it's just like you can tell that there were things that needed to be put in place to help them out, but help never came, whether it was because they like the people around them didn't feel like it was necessary, or it's like, oh, they're just acting strange. Then eventually they get like sometimes it leads to like extreme paranoia, which is when it gets really dangerous.
Yeah, it seems like there's a recurring theme where people think the CIA is stalking them. Or
stalking is a huge recurring theme in
gang stalking,
in extreme cases of schizophrenia.
Where people think that they'll hear something on the radio and think it's like directed directly at them, or like a lot of people think that like.
Do you remember that weird radio call that like? It's this guy talking about like, I think how the government's coming after him. Or something.
Yeah.
It's used in a song, I think.
It is, and it's also that was on the Art Bell show, that Coast to Coast something, where the guy talked about like all the paranormal shit, and that guy called in frantic saying that he used to work at Area 51 or something, and then he got cut off.
The radio station got cut off.
Yeah,
right?
the whole radio station went down.
Yeah,
which is pretty freaky. It's go watch that. It's very even if it's fake, it's well done.
It's one of those ones where like I was in high school and I remember watching it with like Daniel showing me, and we just like kind of freaking out.
I remember first time I ever saw it was I was laying in bed and it was like 2 a.m. and everyone else in my house was asleep, and I saw that and I was like, oh fuck,
because the audio itself is
it's unsettling.
Yeah,
the guy's like freaking out. Oh, I heard that. I was like, is that someone in the house? So every time I start talking about this kind of shit, I start getting paranoid.
Like how we heard like a woman say hello. We thought because the thing is, I heard it and then I wasn't going to say anything. And then I was like, did you hear someone say hello? But then I'm like, a woman say hello? And then you're like, yeah. So we both heard it.
I heard
it could have been someone outside, like our next door neighbor, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been those idiots from the beginning of the podcast that were yelling, those fucking morons.
Dope.
And you're thinking like 10 years moron's going to be a really bad word.
Probably.
We're going to get canceled for saying
who knows?
Fucking moron.
Only one way to find out. Let time pass.
Moron. Moron.
Moron. You deranged, malformed moron.
Smash cut to us in our 30s watching this clip like, Jesus Christ. We're ruined. Oh, man. But I hope everyone's doing well in quarantine. I hope that everyone can... find some peace and be safe and healthy, and my suggestion is, I know it's very hard to get motivation, but try to use this time to pick up a new hobby or try to learn something new, because
You might be in it for a bit.
And also,
depending on your surroundings.
When else in your life is the entire world ever going to be shut down like this, where you have an excuse to do nothing and you don't have to really be responsible for that much unless you work an essential job? In that case, thank you.
Thank you.
My sister
Thank you very much, you heroes.
My sister's not had a single day off work yet. She's always coming in contact with people, and it's very nerve-wracking. Our job is technically essential.
I think it's...
Our multimedia podcast
yeah. But
something like that.
Ugh.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening.
We have more episodes if you haven't listened to them all, and we got more coming on the way. If you want to also support us with producing content, we have a Patreon you can donate to. Just keep in mind that we are aware of what's going on with COVID-19 and how that can affect people's incomes. So if you are struggling, don't worry. This is just us, a reminder for people who can comfortably afford it.
For all you rich kids.
Yeah.
Again, we have not posted really that much in the last few weeks because it's been tough, because Ryan and I only see each other once a week to record stuff. And we've kind of just not had... The problem is we don't really have anything to post on Patreon, but we're coming up with some stuff, and we have a new show coming to the channel soon.
That's right. We recorded it today.
Yeah, the first episode. We got a new show coming. I loved it, and yeah. I had a blast, and I think that people are going to like it too. Let's just say it's a new little long-form content show.
Sounds good to me.
I think that people are really going to like. We just got to put some work into the branding and stuff, but it'll be out soon. And I think it'll be a great way to pass the quarantine.
Hell effing yeah, brother.
All right. Well, Ryan, what do you say we get out of here and fold some clothes?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lift some weights, fold some clothes.
Let's do it.
Hug a little bit, kiss a little bit.
I didn't say that. Let's start with folding clothes, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Bye, guys.